Final Fantasy. Okay, actually, one of my first video gaming memories was at a football Super Bowl game with my parents, or we were at their family friend's house watching the Super Bowl, and I went upstairs with the other kids, and I didn't know any of the kids, but they were playing games. It was one of my first interactions with games, and they were playing a Final Fantasy. I can't tell you which one it is, but that's my reason for being here today talking about Final Fantasy is to figure out which Final Fantasy game did I see at the Super Bowl party. And it's not this one,
Interesting.
but
Interesting.
that,
What
and
do you,
so that's pretty much where it ends.
Sandy's on a
cool.
quest.
Were you gonna ask Daniel?
No, I just said cool.
Okay.
Alex, what's yours?
Hi, I'm Alex, and I like video games. When I was a kid, I went to a Super Bowl. I was kidding. I'm not doing that.
Memory is so offended.
That's a terrible impression.
I was never into RPGs as a kid, really, until maybe like my teenage years. I got interested, and I remember Final Fantasy being like such a daunting one to get into because like. Fucking Christ! By that point, like I was like 12, 13. It was like those are the newest ones that were happening. I think 13 was happening and 12 was newish. And I remember being so like I don't know, kind of like how do I start? Like, should I play the first one? Should I like jump around? I didn't know anything about Final Fantasy really. It wasn't until I got a PSP that I really went back and played the first few games on PSP because they had like the PSP versions, and I did play through this game on the PSP, by legal means. I had it on my PSP.
Not sure why you felt the need to clarify that, but okay.
I just want to make sure everybody knows it was by legal means. I didn't mod it. It was modded. Yeah, I had a newfound appreciation for the game, and I'm happy to talk about it today.
Daniel, I feel like this is going to be interesting. What is your connection to Final Fantasy?
And just in general, so my first exposure to Final Fantasy was Mystic Quest.
Oh,
no.
Shit.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
I mean, I was like 3 years old at the time. So, like, I mean, people say, like, oh, I'm so sorry. But it's like, I was 3. What the fuck did I know? Sure. I liked it a lot at the time. And it wasn't like until years later where people dunked on it all the time when I realized, oh, this is a game that people don't like. Okay, whatever. But I would say like I didn't really fully get into Final Fantasy until Final Fantasy 9. I remember getting it as like I think it was like a Christmas present or a birthday present. I'm pretty sure it was a birthday present. I'm pretty sure. And I fell in love with it. Just thought that it was like one of the best games ever at the time. And it still holds up. I think 9 is still like one of the best. But I remember I had a demo disc for FF7 and I played that to death until I finally got a copy. And I just kind of escalated from there. I played and I've beaten like more than half of the series. I've at least played every single entry except for 11 because that's one of the MMOs, and that's like the old janky MMO, and I'm like, nah, no thanks, not getting into that one.
Mm-hmm.
But when I played FF1, I played the GBA version, and that game got me through high school, so I really appreciate that. Bringing my Game Boy into class, and just like hiding it in my book bag and playing it with the sound off, so nobody would suspect anything. They definitely suspected, but yeah. And I'm still a fan today. I still love Final Fantasy, and I'm hyped for 16. I think 16's gonna kick some booty.
Yeah.
Spencer?
Oh. What's up?
What's your history with Final Fantasy?
Okay. When I was a kid, we rented Final Fantasy 2, which I'm in America, so that's 4. And I was very confused and so we returned it. And then,
Why were you confused?
I mean, we weren't like a. There's a long backstory, but we weren't a very gaming enthusiast family. um, but that's the short story of that. But we were raised on like Mario and Donkey Kong. So
Okay, I get what you're saying.
yeah, we're like, why are there all these like menus and like clicking? And I think I if my memory serves, I did eventually figure it out because it was like a 3-day rental. And I remember making some progress on it. And I can even pinpoint one of the places I had to stop. But I don't know. We were kind of lost when we got it. And also, so I'm a twin. So the games we were supposed to get were games where we could like pass the controller back and forth. Like you miss a jump and then you pass the controller to your friend. But obviously Final Fantasy, there was just long stretches of talking and not doing that. So it was weird for us. And then I saw PS1 came out, and I saw people playing Final Fantasy 7, was very confused by that. And then Final Fantasy 9. By then Pokemon had come out, so I was sort of familiar with turn-based combat now, and I was just like not about it. I just said like, why wouldn't you just play like an action game? And then I played Chrono Trigger and everything flipped over for me, and then
Chrono Trigger's classic. So yeah, if it was going to be any game, it would be that one.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I get it. And then I was like, okay, let's go play them all. And the Final Fantasy 9 is definitely my favorite. I can pretty definitively say. I'm excited for 16, but obviously that's a huge departure from everything else. So
I mean,
I'm interested.
I already explained I'm a Devil May Cry fan, so combining Devil May Cry with Final Fantasy to me is like peanut butter and jelly. So just inject it in my veins.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah.
That's where it all began.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.